Okay, think we should get going. So afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this webinar today, and thank you for your time. I know obviously it's difficult sometimes to try and get 10 minutes out of your day. So the fact that you're joining us for hopefully 45 minutes is we're really grateful for that. So today, as you've probably seen already, we're going to talk about our fantastic new AI Content Creator Apprenticeship that we've developed here at the Growth Company. Alongside me today, helping to take you through the next sort of 40 odd minutes, we've got Annie Ashton. Annie?
Good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, as Gavin said, my name is Annie Ashton. So I am the delivery manager for digital and IT at the Growth Company. And I've been with the company for 4 years. Previous to that, a previous training provider. And a long time ago, a TV editor. So, in terms of the kind of movements of AI, it's something that I've always been really interested in.
Thanks, Annie. And my name's Gavin. I'm a National Sales Manager here at Growth Company. Been here for probably about 5 months now. Again, worked in the sector for many years. So, and prior to my time, I was a retail director at Tesco. So, yeah, moved from retail into training, which I absolutely love. So, you may or may not know about us. Why the Growth Company, I guess. So, firstly, we're an award-winning accredited non-for-profit social enterprise, which for the sector that I work in is rare. So really proud of that fact. It's part of the reason why I ended up joining the Growth Company, as I say, sort of 5-6 months ago. And part of our mission is that we are here to help businesses not just grow, but we want to create jobs and improve lives. So there's many arms to our business where we have skills to work. We work with prisons. We work, with all sorts of areas to try and help, as I say, on that mission to help create jobs and improve lives. Now, part of the area that I work in and Annie works in, and the rest of the team, is we work in part of the education and skills division. So essentially, that's the training arm of the Growth Company. And we've been delivering training for over 35 years now. So we are, if you like, well skilled at it. And obviously the apprenticeship part, as we've been doing that since 2017 when the levy was first introduced. We offer a wide range of apprenticeships. So anything from healthcare through to manufacturing. So we work across ranges of sectors with lots of household names that you will have heard of, but also all the way down to a lot of the SMEs that you may not have heard of. And as part of our continuing mission, as we said, to help businesses grow, we don't just work with the large corporates. We also work with those, if you like, one-man bands and help them grow through their life. And we use the apprenticeship levy to help that. So, and the two parts of apprenticeships you may or may not know is that they're not just for people entering into a business. They're also there for helping existing workforces. So some of you may be on this call today thinking about yourself, thinking about upskilling, or you may be responsible for members in a team where colleagues will be looking to upskill themselves using the apprenticeship levy. So that's a little bit about us and a little bit about what we do. So question for everyone, and I probably should have started with housekeeping at the start, so apologies. What we're going to do today is you'll notice that your cameras are off and your microphones are off. So that's just to give the people that are speaking a little bit more focus, if you like. But what we want you to do is we want to encourage you to use the chat function. So we want this to be as interactive as we can, and we will have Q&A at the end. So if you have got a question and it's relevant, I guess just pop it into the chat and we'll cover it at the end. But to get you going, I guess, the first question that I want to ask you, and if you can pop your answer in the chat and we can just have a quick look through some of them, is how much do you currently use AI? And if you do, what platform do you use? So if you just want to type your answer in the chat, that would be brilliant. Okay, Marta, thank you. So we got ChatGPT, which isn't a surprise. I use that too. We actually use Copilot here at Growth Company, ChatGPT as well. Thanks, Natalie. Copilot, yeah. Okay, we'll come back to those later on, I guess. Oh, okay. Copilot. Okay, yeah. Okay, so yeah, just the two there, Annie. But thoughts on those? Do you use any?
Me personally, I use loads. But yeah, no, in terms of the kind of I would say most popular ones for kind of everyday use, especially around copy and kind of making your life easier, ChatGPT and Copilot seem to be the front runners. But obviously there are loads more AI tools out there than that. Which probably leads me quite nicely on to my bit, doesn't it, Gavin?
Yeah, perfect. Go
It
for it,
does,
yeah.
right. So, obviously, you've made some really good suggestions there with regards to some of the AI tools you use. But you know, if you kind of think back, those people in the webinar today who may have one of those robotic hoovers that hoovers the floor for you, well, they actually started in 2002, but they do form part of what is artificial intelligence. It actually dates back to what is regarded as the birth of AI in 1952, when Arthur Samuel developed a program to play checkers with. So this is kind of where it's evolved from. For those people that drive Teslas, you know, that they do have the ability to drive themselves. Again, that is under the AI umbrella. The first car to actually pass its driving test, self-driving car was 2014. Which is obviously 11 years ago. So, you know, this has been around for a very long time. But it seems to obviously in the last 2 years or so just kind of increased massively with obviously the kind of birth of ChatGPT and Copilot. So, you know, it's a case of getting ahead of what you can do for your apprentices and your company. In 2022, 21% of marketeers were using AI tools, whereas in 2023, it was 74%. So ultimately, the use of AI within the workforce is increasing rapidly. You know, it's a case of being, you know, in a situation where you are ahead of the curve with regards to how you can effectively support your apprentices or your business, but also reduce some of the time that you actually need to do things. So this was just a kind of a snapshot of a report that came out in 2024 with regards to how people were using AI. So, you know, we've got 75% there of people using AI to, you know, remove some of the time barriers that they have so they can focus on more important tasks. You know, we've got 73% said with the use of AI, they are more productive. They can be, 70% have said they are more creative. 70% have said they conduct better data analysis because obviously the data automation tools that you can use now can gather that data much quicker than that of a human, I'll be honest. And also 64% have used it for competitor analysis so they can understand their competitors better. So, you know, it is very much out there in the industry, whether it's marketing or content creation or data. It's just about kind of going, right, well, how can I use that within my business to save time ultimately, because this is obviously what it's for, and also to automate some of the tasks that previously you may have had to pay somebody for, or you would have had to have utilized your own time to kind of do. So, you know, in terms of AI, I don't think there's anybody here that doesn't have, you know, kind of a LinkedIn profile that isn't inundated with AI as a kind of a keyword on their timeline. So the Content Creator AI came from what was the start of a boot camp, which was a government-funded boot camp that we started 2 years ago, which was an AI marketing. So this was about teaching people skills on how to use AI within a marketing role. And born from the success of that, we actually contacted the awarding body and spoke to them about using the existing Content Creator Apprenticeship, but using that from an AI point of view. So this doesn't mean, you know, kind of not utilizing skills for content creation and marketing. They still have to be, you know, used within the actual apprenticeship itself. But AI is obviously ever changing, but also allowing people to save time with those tasks. So this is where the kind of Content Creator Apprenticeship came from. And the awarding body did say that they were very impressed with how innovative and forward thinking it was. So in terms of what it is, it's designed to equip apprentices with cutting edge skills in AI driven content creation. So it's allowing them to know which tools to use, which prompts to use, so their business can actually stay ahead of what is evolving all the time. So the apprenticeship that we offer at the Growth Company offers a unique hands-on experience and also the theoretical knowledge that they would need to be a marketeer and a content creator. So the participants of the course will learn to create engaging content using AI tools. But we'll also obviously teach them how to use non-AI tools as well, so that they can then obviously fine-tune whichever content they're actually creating. Ultimately enhancing productivity, because people will be quicker with these tools, as you guys have probably seen with the use of ChatGPT and Copilot. So that is going to increase productivity, save time, and ultimately allow them to be more creative. So what I've basically put on screen is just a small snippet of the ways that the content creator can help a business, but also some of the areas that we've got AI tools to be able to create content for you. So obviously, naturally, video and images. We've mentioned here ChatGPT and Copilot. Yes, that's going to create scripts and content and presentations and pitches, but it is more than just that. There are tools out there now that will completely create a website for you within 10-15 minutes. It can do the data automation for you in terms of looking at the data, seeing where consumers are going, seeing what competitors are doing. It can help with lead generation, graphic design. It can create blogs for you that have been fully optimized for SEO, automated emails to your potential customers. And the other thing, obviously, is also creating content calendars, creating strategies for you, translations of videos, translations of documents, and also in some ways that our previous or our customers now use it is also with internal training. So this isn't just external benefits for customers and clients. This can be used within internal teams for maybe a staff intranet, staff training videos, anything of that nature. So on the left-hand side, I've just put a few key AI tools. Obviously, we've seen that you've mentioned ChatGPT and Copilot, but obviously there are quite a few others in there as well. And these are just a few of some of the tools that the potential apprentices will use and be shown how to use. Any of them obviously that potentially can then be passed to you, passed to your workforce as a way of, you know, kind of making your staff and yourself more productive. So in terms of the actual AI Content Creator Program itself, the duration of the program is 15 months with an EPA period at the end. Now, the EPA period normally lasts about 3 months. But it can actually be quicker depending on what project the learner will actually do. So what that means is they've got 15 months training with ourselves, and then they go through to EPA, which is the assessment phase ultimately. So the funding for the apprenticeship will come from the government, which is 10,000 if you're actually eligible for that. With regards to the actual training sessions we do, we use small working groups. So these are kind of teams of learners that will support each other as well, obviously, as getting their online training. Alongside that, we do individualized one-to-one support. So that is about kind of looking at your potential workplace, the learner's potential workplace, and the tools that are used within that workplace, so that the learning is actually differentiated for that learner. Okay, you may have a potential learner that works in a specific area of content creation or marketing. Therefore, that one-to-one support will be able to kind of identify how we can support that learner individually. Alongside the actual Content Creator Apprenticeship itself, we also do an additional BCS AI qualification. Now, we do this as a value-added qualification, so it isn't an extra charge for yourselves. It is there to be able to kind of give something for the learner to be able to kind of study alongside in AI, and also add to their CV at the end of the actual apprenticeship itself. So in terms of the growth company, with our content creator that we run program that we run currently, we're really quite proud of what we do at the growth company. And every single learner, every single apprentice that has come on our program, we've got 100% achievement and 100% distinctions. And ultimately, we pride ourselves on that because of the not just the up-to-date training that we do, and also the fortnightly sessions. It's the one-to-one support we do, and also the communication is vital between obviously the apprentice and the line manager. Okay, and that allows us to tailor the program both for the apprentice and also what is their place of employment. So I've put on the slide there just an overview of the slides that the units that the apprentice will study. So the first one that we go through, which is normally the first month of training, is ultimately content creation and AI 101. So that is going back to basics, looking at branding, looking at typography, looking at target audience, how to target. It's as it says, it's 101, back to basics. We also look at the history of AI as well, because many of the apprentices probably weren't even born before the room came out in 2002. So it is about kind of informing them about where it's come from and how it's evolved. We then move on to copywriting for content and generative AI. Then moving on to video and animation creation, visual and audio, data for performance, social media marketing, branding and storytelling, and obviously the BCS Foundation Award in Generative AI will be underpinned throughout the entirety of the apprenticeship. Now, those units there are not, they can be moulded during the one-to-one supports. These are what they will be taught during their sessions. However, if the specific requirement of that apprentice, then we can utilise our one-to-one support to be able to work through what that apprentice is required to learn. So just a little bit of an overview so you can kind of get to see what would be happening. So what we try to do with the online delivery is we build on the knowledge from the previous month, but also on the knowledge that they might be learning within their place of employment. So obviously you'll recognise some of the units that I've just mentioned. So months 1 to 3, content creation and AI 101. Copywriting and content creation and video and audio. And then obviously as we move to month 8 and 12, you can see it's advanced video production, motion graphics and special effects. So what we try and do is build each month on the knowledge that they've learned previously, so that they are getting to a point where, they are, professional, but also working on their skill level and what they've come into the actual apprenticeship with. And then you can see as we get towards months 12 to 15, we've got the BCS Foundation Award in Generative AI, and then also starting to build their portfolio ready for their assessment phase, which is EPA. So the apprentices themselves will build case studies on the work that they produce within the workplace based on skills they've learned within their training. So the growth company will deliver obviously the skills that the apprentice needs within 2-hour bite-sized online sessions. So the reason that we do that is one, we keep the cohorts nice and small, so everybody's got the opportunity to kind of speak, but also that they are working in little small teams. We do them in 2-hour sessions so that the learner has still obviously got the opportunity to implement the skills that they've learned within that session, within the workplace. And also it means that they're actually not released from work for too big a time in terms of what you know, kind of day release, etc., etc. So bite-sized 2-hour online sessions every 2 weeks, and these are interactive and on Teams. With regards to the induction, we have dates available for the induction throughout February 2025, and the next cohort starts delivery on the 4th of March 2025. Okay, so that's it from me, I suppose, unless anybody's got Gavin, if you've got anything to add.
No, thanks, Annie. I think, yeah, really good overview. Thank you. I think the part around, and it's always a barrier to learners going on to an apprenticeship, is the kind of how often they need to release their learners onto you know, workshops and stuff. And I think the fact that they are every 2 weeks, 2-hour bite-sized sessions is brilliant, because what that does is it'll give either you or whoever's going on to the program the opportunity to get in, learn the information or learn the knowledge, should we say, in a short period of time, and then get out and start practicing it. So there's none of this kind of all day, you know, on a Teams call, you know, sort of going through it laboriously. It is actually a case of get in, learn it, get out, practice it, which, you know, we find really beneficial, and will definitely play into those fantastic achievement rates that we've got, because the engagement increases because it's more regular and more often. So yeah, but thank you, Annie. It's a really good overview. Really appreciate that. So any questions that you may have, feel free to pop them into the chat now. If you you can obviously see the pun that we've put there. That should be don't be shy, but we thought we'd put a little spin on it. So any questions or any thoughts, feel free to add them now, and we'll answer them as part of this session. Just give people time to just to type something out. While people are doing that, I think what I'll just mention is that you know, I talked earlier on about brand names you may have heard of. So we're currently working with Co-op. So they want to use this for some internal training. So we are currently sort of having a conversation with them about how that would work. But I think you know, it's not just for those marketing teams, is it, Annie? It's for everyone, like you said at the start. And I didn't realise that, you know, L&D teams could use, anybody can use this. So absolutely great opportunity. Marta, that's great. Thank you. I'm glad it's all clear. That's really good. I guess if you've got any questions or anything like that, then you know, feel free to reach out. I think in terms of what happens next, I mean, firstly, we just want to say thank you for your time today. Probably gone through it a little quicker than we thought, but that's not a bad thing. So we can get some time back, which is great. We will share the recording as well. So if you have missed anything, then obviously you can sort of go back through the recording and then reach out if you've got any questions once you've watched it back. If you do want to continue the conversation, so you want to be interested in how you can get on that cohort that starts in March, then just reach out to the email address that you see on the screen. Obviously, if you want to reach out to that email address as well, if you've got any questions, then obviously, you know, just go for it. Aside from that, I'd just like to say thank you so much to Annie for her time today. That was really good, so thank you. And for everybody that's attended, I hope you had a really good rest of the week. And yeah, if you're interested or you want to know more, just give us a shout on the email address that you see. Anything from you, Annie?
No, all good. Thank you so much, everybody.
Perfect. Thanks, everyone. Take care.